everybody else here.
Yeah.
Are the mics on or off? Oh. Hi.
All right, welcome back, everyone, and good morning. And it's good to see you all. Welcome on in, 10 o'clock here on the dot on your Thursday, and we are so glad you're here. Let's say good morning to folks who are chiming in right now. Chris, good morning. Sherry Nevada Pup, good morning to you as well. Mike Pache. Good to see you, brother.
Good
yeah, nice to see you. And Anita, thank you for coming in and hanging as well. Appreciate it. We have a lot of big stories to get to this morning. One of the first ones has to do with President Trump looking to make Greenland the 51st state. So let's start with you, Anita, first on your thoughts on this and what you've read.
Brought this up at the beginning of his term.
Yes.
And I think Vice President J.D. Vance, the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, headed out there. I don't know how warm that welcome was, but they definitely headed out there, and the information started coming out just at the end of last week, was it?
Yeah.
People were saying that, will there be an invasion? This is something President Trump is revisiting, and he certainly is.
Yeah, he really is, and I don't envision it where you are going to see Marines
An invasion.
rappelling off of a helicopter like we do with the cargo ships with the Venezuela, oil tankers. But I feel like they would be getting close to money exchanging, right?
A discussion.
Yeah. There's a wide range of how much Denmark would want in this deal.
So it's interesting you mentioned that. I actually looked. There was, I think it was like 700 million or something like 700. I don't know if it was million or billion. I think it was a billion. There's a little bit of a backstory here. This was coming from the New York Times, but 19th century, it talked about how the U.S. grew in leaps and bounds. And it kind of goes through this article, all the purchases the United States made. It talked about the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, the Mexican Secession in 1848, and then it talks about the Alaska Purchase, and then it brings up Greenland. But we're constantly hearing from Denmark that it's not for sale. And I think there was even some talk, we had this in the last 30 minutes of AZAM, is that now some of the NATO allies are sending additional troops or like ships to
I think I thought I heard during a press conference yesterday, the president said one additional ship, whether he was joking or not.
President Trump, you mean?
Yes.
Oh,
what did I say?
I'm talking about NATO allies.
Yes,
yeah,
but
the
that's
others.
what Trump was talking about was in reference to NATO sending one more ship. So that was interesting. But some facts about Greenland.
Yes.
It is the world's largest island, which is not a continent.
Oh.
Yes. And it is around 836,330 square miles, 6 times the size of Germany.
6 times. So you could drive across, I wonder, in how long?
Yeah. 56,000 people, mostly indigenous, live there. And it is located between North America and Arctic, making it well placed for early warning systems in the event of missile attacks.
All right, we're going to look at a little bit of video here to show you where that island is located, and it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
80% of it is covered by ice.
Look at that.
But it's beautiful. Look at those. I mean, obviously you have glaciers up there, Mike, you all have been covering this extensively with all of the back and forth.
Yeah, and even though Greenland says that it's not for sale, I mean, Denmark really saying it's not for sale. If you remember in Donald Trump's Art of the Deal book, he says everything's for sale.
Yes.
So I think that's one thing to look at as well. But, you would think that Europe would want the U.S. presence there because there's 3 major shipping lanes circling Greenland. And, if we were able to acquire Greenland, that means we would have a lot more defense operations there.
Yes.
And, be patrolling and keeping an eye out for nefarious things.
Well, and I think they have a lot of resources on Greenland, and
a lot of natural resources,
right? Yeah. And I think it's interesting when you look at the move that the administration is making. First, obviously, Venezuela has a lot of resources, the oil reserves there, and then Greenland has a lot of resources as well.
Yeah.
So this is an article that I was looking at that said, why might U.S. President Donald Trump want Greenland's security? Because it is strategically located where it is. And then the natural resources, we're talking about oil, gas, and rare earth metals, and then shipping lanes. As the climate crisis melts Arctic ice, it could make northern shipping routes more accessible throughout the entire year. So many benefits there.
So in terms of, I looked at the warships thing, Anita, you were just talking about. Several European NATO allies confirmed they were sending personnel as well to the island. Sweden's prime minister said officers from the Swedish armed forces had arrived in Greenland to work through this with the Danish military exercise. It's called Operation Arctic Endurance. Norway said it would send 2 military personnel to also work with some of those allies. Germany's defense ministry said it was dispatching a reconnaissance team of 13 military personnel to Greenland. So I think it's a lot of people heading there from January 15th to the 17th. So they're there right now. The goal, the ministry said, this is according to a Time magazine I just pulled up article, was to assess possible contributions to regional security, including maritime surveillance. And so they're looking at what's happening in and around the island, with all these personnel from all over Europe.
What about the issue with Venezuela? And this article brings that up as well. What does Venezuela have to do with it? And they were quoting President Trump saying that U.S. needs Greenland from the standpoint of national security because Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. And so he says they're just doubling down because of that, which is interesting that there's so much going on.
Yeah, I think the worry is if the U.S. doesn't acquire it, that China or Russia would try.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to get to that first. But I wonder what the polling would be if for the people that live in Greenland.
Yeah, what they say.
What they are saying. We really don't see these numbers,
Yeah.
Well, ask them.
And the U.S. dollar might be worse than whatever they have in Denmark as well.
Yeah.
So you're saying maybe they want to become part of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a positive thing for them.
Yeah.
I wonder if... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say, I wonder if anyone in Greenland is watching.
Oh, maybe. We do have viewers in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe.
It would be very interesting. Very interesting.
Quick mention, this is our poll question on YouTube, and we'll show you that poll question on our Fox Local app and on television in just a brief moment. You can click the link to the YouTube poll. It's at the top of the chat. And good morning to everyone in the chat. AZ Raider, good morning. O'Shea, good morning. Buddha Sheep and Christina Carroll, good morning to you. Share with us in the chat as well. What are your thoughts on Greenland becoming a 51st state of the United States? We do have Rebecca Castor, her story here this morning as well. And let's go ahead and take a listen to this right now.
The president has made his view clear, and we have a different position.
If President Trump has his way, Alaska may no longer be the only Arctic territory in the United States. He has his sights set on Greenland, writing on social media, quote, "It is vital for the Golden Dome that we are building. NATO should be leading the way for us to get it."
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will, and I'm not letting that happen. He should mind his own business.
He has to back off, that he can't just get everything he wants.
Greenland residents aren't enthusiastic, and the territory's leaders insist it's not for sale. The foreign ministers of Greenland and Denmark sat down with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio Wednesday to reiterate that claim, but the administration is keeping the pressure on.
Greenland plays a critical role in protecting both North America and Europe from incursion. That needs to be in control of someone who's even stronger than NATO. That's the United States of America.
There's possibilities to accommodate the concerns of the president. while we at the same time respect the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark.
And after President Trump said the U.S. would get Greenland one way or the other, Denmark's defense ministry is ramping up its military presence around the island. Any U.S. military intervention in Greenland would be against the wishes of lawmakers here on both sides of the aisle. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
You know, that was interesting to hear what the people who live there have to say and what their thoughts are on that.
I know. And you like I was talking earlier, you would think that they would really, really want this.
Yeah.
Now, that would two residents out of the 560,000. So, but it would be interesting to poll that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do we want to go on assignment to Greenland?
Let's do
right?
it. Let's
Anita?
do it.
Yeah.
We've got some warm puffer coats.
And talk to some folks like on a at a coffee shop
like
or a
an
diner.
MLS man on the street interview.
It would be interesting to hear what they have to say. But I believe you said Husky Mom. I'd love to move to Greenland. Looks like perfect weather for Hoshi and me. I believe that's her dog.
A husky.
Because she's a husky mom.
Hoshi would love it there. Absolutely.
All right, let's get right to the poll question. It does have to do with this very topic. Should Greenland become America's 51st state? 35% of you say yes. 65% of you say no. They don't want to join America. President Trump should leave them alone. Anita, would you like to go over the YouTube?
Sure, absolutely.
Wow, it's on fire.
And yes, 74%. So the numbers are different, but we still have more people voting no. 74% say they don't want to join the U.S. Trump should leave them alone. 26% said yes. We'd welcome the territory becoming part of the United States.
Yeah, let's get right to Dave this morning. He's got some of those comments. Wow, 1.7 thousand votes, Dave. This is huge.
Wow. That's right. A lot of people are so passionate and fired up about this topic. Dr. Z 400 SM5 says it's chess, not checkers. We don't want them. China and Russia want them. Big picture. First MedTech says it would be fantastic if Greenland is on board with joining us. And A-Train 401 says Greenlanders have a right to decide their future, not the USA. Really interesting takes. Keep them up, everybody. We love hearing from you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Look at Dave. He looks refreshed. And that's the part, right? Does the country want to become a part of it? But, we'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if the money...
Money talks.
Money talks. Money always talks.
Yes.
If money talks. All right, let's get your thoughts on this next story. This is something, obviously, we're talking global headlines and global news. Iranian airspace has now reopened this morning following an order yesterday that closed it to commercial flights because of high tensions within the U.S. So meantime, the U.S. is evacuating hundreds of troops from some Middle East bases, a precaution ahead of a possible U.S. strike. You see some of the protests there. And of course, President Trump has shared his thoughts on this. Your thoughts, Mike?
What a wild week already. If you look back at the last 48 hours, if you go back to 2 days ago, you would have thought, okay, it's for certain that the U.S. is going to strike Iran. And then yesterday, President Trump inside the Oval Office pretty much walking it back and saying, you know what, we're hearing that the killings have stopped in Iran for the protesters. And then it looked like nothing would happen. And then maybe last night, our time, things were escalating, but nothing happened. And now the news that maybe Saudi Arabia and Qatar really helped in this situation by walking the U.S. back on these strikes.
Wow.
It is interesting because just a day or two ago, President Trump said there will be some type of help.
Yeah.
Some type of help is coming. He never said in what form, but said some type of help is coming. And then again, as you mentioned, is he walking that back?
And we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a brief moment. We're going to take a quick break, but the mystery camera for you here at this hour. Give us your thoughts on where this is. Kelly Laws is running live control, and we'll have more on this after the break. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Your mystery camera this morning and some of your guesses in the chat. Thomas Brown, New York. Darla Nickel, good morning, my friend. Wisconsin or Montana, she says. Christine Carroll says Michigan.
We have a guest from Husky Mom, 25, Idaho.
Oh.
What do you think, Mike?
I was going to get, when I saw it, I was going with, how about Washington State somewhere?
That's a great guess.
That's where we were yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday we were in Olympia. There's ice on that pier. So it's got to be somewhere up north. I think I'm going to go Washington as well. What about you, Anita?
I'm going to go with Thomas, and I'm going to say New York.
Okay.
I don't know why, but...
Would you like to do the honors? There's
sure.
There's
Mystery
the paper.
cam.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see what this is.
There we go. Mystery cam.
Yes. Kelly Laws is in live control. Oh, Lake George, New York. Nice work, Anita.
It's all Thomas. He was the first
nice
one I saw,
work,
so I went
Thomas.
with it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wow, that was great.
That
yeah.
was beautiful.
Oh,
and
my
peaceful.
goodness.
Almost looks like Greenland.
And kind of hilly.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Like
very
foothills.
nice.
That's a sleeper one because I was not thinking New York State at all.
I know.
That was a good sleeper.
Well, and I saw Kelly Laws
Sleeper pick.
yesterday in the newsroom kind of passing, and he was like, when Ron's not here, I can throw in Washington. Because otherwise...
Oh, he would grab it right away.
And Ron, by the way, is not in Washington.
No, he's not there right now, but he's from there. And I know many of you are missing him, as we are as well, but we're so grateful that you've hung with us. Let's get right back to the chat on Iran. I know we were chatting about a couple of things having to do with what's happening in the country and some of the other countries that have now have been working, to work with the U.S. and Iran to kind of, calm the situation.
Yeah, with the walk back there, it looked like we were talking about before the break that the U.S. was going to send some help in form of striking Iran to try to stop the horrible, there's so many reports out there, wide range of numbers of just how many protesters are being killed by this regime.
Yeah.
And they got a communication blackout right now.
Yeah, we talked to a local gentleman who is from Iran, has been living here. He's been attending the protests that we've been seeing across the valley. He mentioned it took him days to try to communicate with family members. Can't get hold of mom or dad.
Scary stuff.
Was finally able to chat with someone, but for just a very brief minute, and then lost communication again. And I think that we have a little bit of sound from him.
We do. We have an interview with him. Let's take a listen here.
This is the 6th day that the internet is shut down. It's just not internet, it's any way of communication. Believe it or not, every day I woke up, I call my mom, I call my dad, and I hope they pick up. They haven't. It's fear and joy. I'm enjoying that I have brothers and sisters. I have a brave parents that they are not afraid to raise their voice. But I'm scared when they get shot. I'm scared if I never hear them back. This man, his name is Amin. I'm sure they are doing something, maybe.
And you just heard him share that his family was there. He says he was able to speak to family on Tuesday. We got this interview earlier in the week for a couple of minutes before getting disconnected. So he has been to multiple protests around the area, showing support and raising awareness for fellow Iranians as well.
Speaking of protesters, we reported yesterday or the day before that they were potentially going to hang one of the protesters. And if I'm not mistaken, I heard on Fox News this morning that they decided not to, which was maybe perhaps another reason why the Trump administration decided not to go in.
Yeah, and there's a lot of these international efforts to try to, walk back these horrible conditions that are inside Iran right now. And you worry, though, once the communication is turned back on in the country, what type of videos are we going to be seeing? And that, I think that's the fear, too, of what's happening. Because right now we're just getting this information, the killing has stopped and things have stopped. But what does it look like? I think that's going to be a different aspect of it.
Or has the killing really stopped?
Yeah,
I guess we really won't be able to know, and I think you bring up a valid point, Mike, is that they may have disconnected like the Wi-Fi but people are still taking videos. Mm-hmm. So as soon as that's reconnected, they're going to start posting the videos that they have been taking. They're still gathering video and sound, and we're still able to at some point we will see what's really going on.
Yeah, and that's the worry.
Yeah. pretty scary. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go right back to that video here. And that, of course, the video you're looking at right there is locally, but these are some of those protests that are taking place in Iran. And it has been a wild last few weeks. That is for sure, with everything going on globally, including there in the Middle East. And of course, a lot going on. You had Venezuela, Iran. Now you have those talks with Greenland as well. And that's our poll question. At the top of the show, if you're just joining us here, you can go to the top of our chat. You can click on that YouTube link and it'll take you to our poll there. And then here is a quick glance at our poll question this morning as well. Should Greenland become America's 51st state? It was something we chatted about at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. And numbers are continuing to grow. 63% say no, they don't want to join America. President Trump should leave them alone. 37% of you say yes, we'd welcome the territory becoming part of the U.S. And you can scan the QR code that is there on your screen. It'll take you to a place where you can actually vote, and we would love to hear from you.
And Christine Carroll says Greenland should be left alone. That is a comment in the chat, so we're getting a few of those as well.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you in the chat as well, sharing your thoughts. Let's move on to this next story, a big local story for you this morning. This is a situation that has been happening. It was years ago, a Chandler woman at the center of a high-profile animal cruelty case expected to be sentenced this morning. In December, April McLaughlin took a plea deal for 2 cases filed against her. Back in 2023, police discovered 55 dogs living in their own filth at her home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's also the charge that she stole $160,000 from her mother's bank account. So she took a plea deal. And because she took the plea deal, the sentence will likely be way less than it would have been had she gone to trial. So Justin Lum, who's been following this, said that she could get a 2-year sentence or less because of credit with time served. So again, this happened, 3 years ago now. I asked Justin this morning what he thought, and he said he thought, just knowing the situation, a couple of years.
Yeah, and you wonder, too, just what the neighbors might have heard and saw during this whole ordeal, too, you know? I mean, 55, that's a lot of animals.
Yeah, it was when the images, Anita, I know you saw them too. It was heartbreaking to see what was going on.
If anything good came out of this, we did pass in the state here, and the governor signed it into law, Jerry's Law. And Jerry is actually one of the dogs rescued out of the home. And Jerry does not have use of his hind legs, so he was in a wheelchair. And he was taken there because what she was doing was taking animals that were disabled and needed extra help. Because from facilities, from nonprofits, from people who couldn't care for these animals, but, didn't want them put down or anything like that. And so Jerry, we actually had Jerry here in studio when the bill passed and Jerry's Law. And so this allows first responders, police officers, and nonprofits to seize the dogs and take them out of a situation a little earlier, a little sooner than they may have prior to this law passing. So, for example, the parameters of what is a structure, what is water, because sometimes they would say, well, they have a puddle. And that's water.
Yeah, no, that's not water.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not water at all. A quick note, if you do want to watch this, her sentencing, it is going on right now. Isabella and I believe Justin, they're both streaming live on our other YouTube channel. And if you go to our YouTube page, you go under the live little category, you'll be able to see us there. And then you'll also be able to see them. And they're running that from our breaking news desk there in our newsroom.
A lot of options.
We do have a lot of options.
I mean, but we do hope you stay with us. We're not going to lie.
No, because we have Mike Pache in here right now. That's why. Mike, something also, let's go right to this video, what's happening in Minneapolis. This is developing out of there as well. Now a second ICE shooting in a matter of a week. There was a clash between protesters and law enforcement as well. So this is the video captured some of the chaos in the middle of the night. You all have probably been seeing this as well in LiveNOW.
Yeah, another chaotic scene last night playing out. ICE agents were trying to pull over this vehicle. Inside was a suspect who DHS is saying was a Venezuelan illegal immigrant. And that person starts to run out and then gets a shovel and starts trying to hit the the ice agent and is hitting the person. And then two other people come out, out of the woodwork and start beating on the officer as well. The officer then shoots this person in the leg. They were, everyone was detained, but then a protest just sparks out on the streets there in Minneapolis, and another wild scene. Look at they're launching fireworks at the ICE agents. It was getting really dicey at points.
That is so nuts.
Yeah.
They said flashbangs and smoke bombs were being going off there in the middle of this neighborhood.
And it was just a week ago that Renee Good was shot and killed, and that is really when tensions started to escalate even more. I know the governor and the mayor speaking out about the violence.
Yeah, let's take a listen to that.
Let me say once again to Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, end this occupation. You've done enough.
So let's be very clear. I've seen conduct from ICE that is disgusting and is intolerable. If it were your city, it would be unacceptable there too. And for anyone that is taking the bait tonight, stop. That is not helpful. Go home.
So there were a couple of the leaders there, the mayor and the governor, sharing their thoughts on what has been happening in the city.
Yeah, and a lot of people would say, do the people that are protesting, are they getting the same information in real time, or do they know what they're defending, right? Because it's not like, a grandma was just trying to get home from the grocery store and ICE agents are surrounding them. This is an alleged illegal immigrant.
Yes.
So
who takes a shovel and goes after the ICE, the federal agent.
So do you wonder, do they know? Do they care? A lot of thoughts here on this matter.
Well, and then to that point, we heard President Trump saying the other day, these are paid protesters. That his opinion,
right?
That's how he's looking at it, and so people are watching that. Maybe, perhaps, those who support him and support the cause are asking the same question.
Yeah, and President Trump today on Truth Social is threatening Minnesota with the Insurrection Act.
Yes, he is.
So we could be on the cusp of seeing maybe even more military action inside Minneapolis if things don't calm down a little bit.
This is giving me PTSD when I think about COVID and the protesting that took place in Minneapolis.
Yes.
Remember that?
With George Floyd.
With George Floyd. This is like a lot of, this city, I think, has been through a lot in the last many years.
Only difference this time around, it's cold.
Yeah, it is.
It's not the summer.
And people are still out.
Yeah.
My goodness, it has been wild. Well, we are going to continue to coverage, of course, some big headlines nationally and globally. We're going to take a quick break right now and give you another beautiful look here. Mike Pache, it was great to have you, my friend. Thank you so much. Catch him on Live Now.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. What a beautiful shot this is, huh?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's very picturesque.
I know it's going to be breezy and colder, but I would love to bundle up and take a walk.
I'm with you.
Oh, man, that would be so refreshing and beautiful.
Would you sit on those rocks?
Absolutely.
Or maybe? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just listen to that water coming in, the waves crashing.
There's like a little lighthouse up there.
Wait for the rain.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
I feel like it's like a set out of a novel.
I love the water.
Like a romance novel.
Yes,
you're reading my mind.
Oh, wait, a thriller.
Yeah, no, like a romance novel. I'm thinking like a Nora Roberts or a Danielle Steele.
Oh, I'm thinking a thriller. Someone's in that lighthouse watching and waiting.
Oh, I was thinking you could be
Dave
watching
liked
and
that, didn't he? Thanks, Dave.
Oh, and there's a guy there walking through too.
That's a lighthouse keeper.
Yeah.
He's the one watching you.
He's the one that has the ulterior motives. Maybe it starts as a romance and ends as a thriller.
Maybe someone is having
maybe somebody is like
a relationship they shouldn't be having.
Yeah, and then the wife finds out, or husband.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is the nefarious activity we're talking about.
Yeah, you see the person following
Number
him
2.
in.
You
Yeah.
thought I was kidding. I'm not kidding. Someone's
and they don't know we're watching them.
No, here we go. Here we go.
He's
what type of exchange will this be?
Oh, let's see. Is it a PDA type of a situation? Oh, now they're walking together.
They know they're being watched, so they're walking off camera.
They're like, I know of a different entrance to this building.
Darla Nichols, by the way, says, I love Nora Roberts. I don't think I've ever read a Nora Roberts.
Yeah, Darla. So my husband's grandmother, she actually was so sweet, Frances. She introduced me to Nora Roberts. I used to love just Danielle Steele books.
Oh, I read I think I've read every Danielle Steele book out there.
But she introduced me to Nora Roberts. She was like this really wonderful. She lived well into her 90s.
Grandma Frances. Okay.
And she would sit in her recliner and she'd read her Nora Roberts paperbacks. And so we always knew what to get with her blanket. We always knew what to get her for Christmas. And she kind of introduced me to them. I just think it's the best thing that she was in her 90s, still reading Nora Roberts.
AZ Raider 4871 says Stephen King.
Yeah. Husky Mom also says, LOL, Anita, that's creepy with it. But we can kind of intertwine them, right? It's like a romance / thriller.
Yeah. Brandy the Bookworm says, Celeste, yes, this looks like a house in the Nora Roberts Three Sisters Island series that I read every year. So good, a little romance, but more of a mystery.
Yeah.
Maybe we should write a book.
It's a little bit of both. The guy's name is Fabio. I think that's good. All right, welcome back. That was a beautiful shot. Let's show it to you one more time. And big thank you to Kelly Laws. He's running our live control behind the scenes and filling in for Dean Fazzini this week and doing a fabulous job. So great job, my friend. We have a really interesting interview, Anita, coming up right now.
Yes, we do.
So we have, of course, we're on the heels here of MLK Day here in Arizona. And there has been a new WalletHub study that has been released.
This is interesting, and maybe after the interview, we can take a Dave Cam and get his opinion on this. Racial integration in Arizona. We are the number one most integrated state.
Yes.
In the nation.
Yeah, racially progressive when it comes to this particular study. Let's bring in Chip Lupo this morning, and he has much more on this. Chip, it's so wonderful to see you again, my friend. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. You know, I want to head down to the beach after seeing that shot earlier. I'm from the North Carolina coast, so I'm ready to go back now.
Okay, so do you think it's a romance novel or a thriller unfolding over there?
I think both, actually, because it kind of sets up kind of innocently enough, but it's gonna. I foresee some pretty hard twists along the way.
Yeah, good call. Tell us more about this study and what it shares about Arizona.
Well, ladies, what we tried to do is we tried to come up with a comprehensive study when it comes to racial integration on the eve of the Martin Luther King holiday. So we measured all 50 states and Washington, D.C. across 5 key dimensions when it comes to racial integration, and those are employment and wealth, education, social and civic engagement, and health. And then there's other metrics at play also, and those include things such as median household incomes, standardized test scores, voter turnout. So what we tried to do is we evaluate them based on the gap between white and black populations. Now, this doesn't include any other ethnicities. We're just comparing black and white populations in these states. And Arizona is phenomenally well, which is a great turnaround if you consider where the state was not that long ago with its opposition to the MLK Day to rise all the way to number one as the state that's the most racially integrated.
Yeah.
Do you have the numbers from the previous? And you're saying we came a long, long way. How long?
This is something that's probably been like 20 years or so in the making. The last several years, at least as long as I've been doing these studies, Arizona is gradually worked itself into the top 5. And in a number of key areas, in which, such as, for example, 7th overall in employment and wealth, with the 5th lowest poverty rate gap between white and black America, which is key, because the economics of it is the cornerstone. Because once you bridge those economic gaps, and then it allows actually both societies, both black and white population, to thrive in other areas, such as education and health in terms of affordability and access.
You know, some of the other things that you have on here as well, the other things that are part of your study is you mentioned the income with the economy. You mentioned labor force participation rate gap, unemployment rate, home ownership rate gap, poverty rate gap. Was there anything surprising that came out of this study when it came to some of the other states? We have other people. I know we're based in Arizona, but we have viewers from all over the country and the world. Was there anything else that kind of surprised you when taking a look at the study when you look at the entire nation?
Well, what I found interesting was now Arizona is one of the most racially integrated states. But what I found shocking was that the ones that are making the most progress, as in righting wrong, so to speak, Georgia and Mississippi, and states in which racial equality has been a struggle for many, many years. Those two have run close to or at the top in terms of the progress made over the last several years, particularly Georgia. Now, if you think about Georgia post-COVID, how it ramped up the economy, one of the first states out of the gate, and that's kind of fed off of that in terms of, particularly in terms of black business ownership and the share of executives in businesses. So, when you see states like that have traditionally struggled in terms of black-white relations, certainly stop making progress. So watch out, Arizona, because it probably won't be long before some of these deep South states are going to be on your heels.
What do you think it is that Arizona's doing to close these gaps and move up on the list?
Well, it starts with the economy. Arizona is, for the most part, a business-friendly state. It's reasonably affordable. You don't want to buy a house in Phoenix right now, obviously, but in terms of it's business-friendly, there's no state income tax, and there just seems to be it's a business-friendly, and I think it's being a border state. I mean, there just seems to embrace diversity probably more so than most states.
You know, it's interesting, and I'm glad you mentioned that it was something that has kind of been in the works for, it was a while ago, and then there was kind of some struggle. There was Governor Bruce Babbitt had first created the MLK Day holiday. That was in 1986, and then Governor Evan Mecham rescinded it in 87, led to some widespread boycotts. But then the Phoenix citizens and activists, and there actually was one pastor who just retired from a church here in Phoenix, Dr. Warren Stewart Sr., he kind of pushed for the voter initiative. So you're right, Chip. It hasn't been that long since Arizona. I mean, the 1980s was not that long ago.
Seem that long ago.
And we made some real progress here.
Yeah, and also, and I think when you see the influx of residents from other states, I mean, there's a lot of folks from California and other states that are moving into Arizona because of its tax friendliness and business friendliness. So in that respect, I think you're seeing more or less of a kind of a melting pot developing there in Arizona.
Yeah, we have a lot of transplants, that's for sure. Chip, you ever visit Phoenix?
It's been a while, like 15 years or so ago when I was in Metro Phoenix in Glendale, actually.
All right. Well, we need to come back. We have grown so much you wouldn't even recognize it.
And then you can join us on the stream live here in studio. So if you ever come back for spring training or whatever, you just give us a ring.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah. Have a great day, Chip. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Something else that is happening here in Arizona is you take a drive up to Chino Valley in Navajo County, and it's really tough to find teachers sometimes to serve our children in these rural communities.
Correct, yeah.
And something really cool is happening up in Chino Valley.
I've heard some people say this is depressing and difficult to watch because we should be paying our teachers more.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I'm a little bit more, I guess, optimistic, positive. And I said, I think this is a really good idea. So we have the school district in Chino Valley has 10 what they call tiny homes.
Yeah.
And they are located within walking distance, really, of one of their elementary schools on property that's owned by the district. And then the district took $2 million of their own money and they put it in. They built these tiny little homes so that their teachers can live in them for $550 a month.
Yeah.
The average rent in Chino Valley, $2,200 a month.
That's crazy. For rural Arizona, that's
Possibly
crazy.
Because there aren't many places to live.
I think so. And you're like maybe an hour and 15. I think we have a couple of viewers in Chino Valley as well. Let us know. You might be like an hour and 15 north of Prescott. Let's take a listen. We do have an interview here, a portion of it with a teacher up in Chino Valley.
Putting some younger people into our workforce, which I think is really good for kids.
This opportunity is tremendous and extremely helpful, that if you're looking to get your foot in education and you're looking kind of branch out from your home life or you're looking for a new start, that Chino Valley offers an amazing opportunity here, living in these small houses.
And there's a look at the small houses right there. Nicole Christine, one of our evening reporters, she made the drive up to Chino Valley, and it shows how close there's the entrance to the school.
Literally walking distance.
Yeah, it really is. It's interesting, too. It's not just here in Chino Valley, but for folks who work in Sedona, they can't live in Sedona because it's so expensive. Obviously, that's more of a tourism location, like a hot spot. But they have to live in like Cottonwood or Jerome. And now they've started to build housing outside of the Sedona city limits because people need a place to live if they're going to work in the resorts or areas in Sedona.
And they also raised the minimum wage in Sedona a little bit higher than the average for the rest of the state. But let me go back to this, though. I'm not quite sure what a first-year teacher would be making in Chino Valley, or maybe someone with a little bit of experience. But it might be a good opportunity, like Malachi said, and that is the teacher Malachi Daniels. It might be a good opportunity to go teach for a couple of years, and you're saving, what, $1,500 a month by not paying that rent, and perhaps your salary would be equal to something that you're paying here. Save the money, pay off the education, get the experience, move to a district, a bigger district, and you'll be able to make, hopefully, a little bit more money.
Yeah. And, real quick, I don't know what happened to the chat on the screen, but we're going to figure it out for you. I love all the book chatter in the chat.
Everyone's still talking about something that you and I made up completely.
I think we were on to something good here, Anita. We're going to co-author a book. We're going to do that in a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back with more of the storyline.
No,
Okay.
I don't.
All right,
think
welcome
so.
back, everyone. Hot mic.
Hot mic.
Hot mic. We have a special guest in studio. We're going to introduce him in just a brief moment. But Anita and I were thinking, Christine Carroll, you're absolutely right. Sedona is out of reach for many Arizonans in terms of price. But you all are talking about books still, and this book idea that Anita and I came up with, which was like half romance, half suspense. So now we're trying to think of a title.
And I think that's something you need to have the word lighthouse.
Yes, you do.
In the title. So we're looking for something that would be like Scandal in the Lighthouse.
Scandal in the Lighthouse.
I know. This is the scene. And we had one gentleman.
Sweaty in the Lighthouse.
What is it?
Sweaty.
Okay, well, that can mean a lot of things,
We're
Celeste.
talking Nora Roberts here or Danielle Steele, okay, people? Come on.
Oh, goodness. Well, we had two people. One came out of a door, one went down the sidewalk. They met in the middle, and then they went the other way. We don't know where they went, perhaps up in the lighthouse. Perhaps they're plotting a murder. We don't know.
Oh, yes.
We just don't know. Help us out with some titles.
We're thinking there might be a love triangle.
Oh, Love Triangle in the
Yes,
Lighthouse.
Love Triangle in the Lighthouse.
There we go. That's the title.
These are. I looked up words that were meant. I said other words for sweaty in the lighthouse: clammy, moist, sticky, drenched. Big D is
okay. Next topic,
behind.
Big D. I'm blushing, and I haven't even read the first page.
Oh, feverish in the lighthouse. Oh, what did you spout like? Turn off. Oh wait, light out in the lighthouse.
Lights out in the lighthouse. I like
lights
that.
Lights out.
Because that could mean A, we're having an affair. B, murder. Lights out.
Yes, lights out.
Okay.
And still have the picture of the lighthouse
Let me
on
see
the cover.
if it's taken.
Oh, look at Darla Nicole loving in the lighthouse.
Oh,
okay. This is good.
Lights out.
This is good. We're going to introduce our next guest here as Anita does a little bit
be
more.
Here after all, listen to all
Matthew
that.
Miller from Game Day Men's Health. Matthew, what do you think about our title?
I mean, I was just enjoying the last little bit.
Lights out in the lighthouse, yeah.
I laughed that hard.
Lean in if you can, my friend. Just like a radio show.
You look at that scene and you're thinking romance, love, or you're thinking thriller, murder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
He's
Lust
like
and deception.
There is a Dungeons and Dragons one-shot adventure. It's called Lights Out at the Night Watch Lighthouse. So I think we're good with Lights Out at the Lighthouse.
Lights Out at the Lighthouse. Matthew Miller, how not to give up on resolutions or bounce back from not keeping up with them. My friend, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we do that? And your Game Day is like mostly for men's health. That's what you guys are.
Correct.
What do you guys do at Game Day? Start with that first.
Sure. So we're a TRT optimization clinic. We deal a lot with weight loss, muscle building, as well as just making guys feel their best is the main focus.
And as we age, it gets harder for men and women to feel their best.
Oh, very hard.
Yeah, so a little bit of help goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you say TRT, what do you mean?
Testosterone replacement. So getting vitality back, energy, helping with fitting with the lighthouse.
At the love of the lighthouse.
Getting that intimacy back.
Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe Game Day Health is in our Lights Out novel. You know,
you get a chapter.
Yeah,
awesome.
The guy.
Awesome.
That's how.
We'll take it.
That's part of the loving is him going to Game Day, and then he's like, "Honey, I got an appointment at Game Day.
I gotta go.
I gotta go to Game."
I think it's January 18th, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll look it up.
Sure.
Is the day where people give up on their resolution?
I would say it's usually within the first 2 to 3 weeks. Absolutely. I think the major focus is we have this cultural herd mentality where everyone just, January 1st, now it's the time, right? So it's almost as if they don't decide that on their own. It's almost just like, let's do it.
We're being told.
Yeah, and
exactly.
It should be an every.
Correct.
It should be an every day or like every month. Like you shouldn't have to wait for it, though, right? I mean, just start when it's good for you. If you miss a day or two. Today's a new day. The sun is rising again. Let's try it again. How do we get us started on maybe restarting if you were to quit?
So, I mean, ultimately it takes about 30, sometimes 45 days to actually significantly solidify a new type of habit, if you will.
Yeah.
So don't give up on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Like you're saying, if you eat that cake, you ate it. Yeah. Continue on.
It's super
not
delicious.
Like your resolution is completely gone. It's good, yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the cake. If you're going to really do it, if you're going to really have the cake, enjoy the cake.
Yeah. What about like small gains and progress? some people give up because they get frustrated after a week on the treadmill. I don't see a difference. I'm lifting weights. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is that you have to look only at yourself. You can't look at what other people are doing. Because you're going to get discouraged. You're going to see that extremely, buff guy, or that slender woman
in the lighthouse
who is ready to go.
Ready
to go. But yes, both in a lighthouse that looks like picture perfect all the time. In realism, that's not real. That's not real. But yeah, I mean,
one of the topics that you have on here is build accountability. We were chatting on the pod on the stream earlier this week, and so many of you who are joining with us know this. But on New Year's Day, my husband prints out these worksheets, and we sit down with our 3 teenagers, and we all fill them out together over dinner, and then we share and we read them aloud.
That's intense.
It is intense. And then everybody has to share, and it's a full 2-page worksheet about things you want to do throughout the year, or how you see yourself, or and it's all about building accountability.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you want to hire her husband?
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah,
he sounds like a good life coach.
Very organized.
I'll take that
he is very organized.
No.
But having somebody like, if I'm going to work out, like having somebody like Anita, where I say, "Hey, Anita, I'm going to go," or having somebody to walk with, or something like that, it builds accountability.
Absolutely. I mean, usually, to be honest with you, what I do at the beginning of each of these journeys is you write down the goal, you write down the short term to long term. What do you want to achieve from this? And then what do you think the barriers are going to be? And how can you overcome that? And if you don't really know those answers, as time goes on, as long as you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, those answers will come. They can also change a little bit. The outcomes and the expectations can change. But I mean, to really get into this is you have to commit. You have to be, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
I like what you're saying about barriers and writing it down and being realistic about that, because everyone goes into it thinking, well, I'm going to start lifting 5 pounds and then 10 pounds and then 15. But realistically, I might be really tired on Tuesday and not want to lift everything. And you kind of prepare your mind saying it's okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Again, accountability. I really like that idea with structure and putting that down. There's apps out there. There's programs. I mean, you can track everything. The biggest thing is you look at for instance, bench press. You're at 135. 2 months later, you're at 225. You're seeing progress.
Wow.
Some guys don't realize that, or people don't see those little small gains, or losing 5 to 7 pounds in the mirror. You don't see that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Brandy the Bookworm has a question for you. She says, does he think that weight loss should be more focused on the scale? You just mentioned some of that weight loss, or more in how your clothes fit, or how they look on you, or how you feel? Great question. That is so all about body composition. When you step on a scale, it doesn't take in consideration fat, muscle, bone density, nothing like that. There's a lot of good body composition companies out there that have like InBody is one of them, where you can actually scan and see your percentages and see and track the progress if you need to have that over and over again. But as you said, bookworm. Yes, Brandy the Bookworm. Brandy the Bookworm. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I mean, if you are noticing improvements in the gym, you're noticing that your clothes are fitting better, you're going down in size, but maybe you did only lose 5 pounds or sometimes gain 5 pounds. Yeah. You got to remember, muscle weighs more than fat. And maybe you gained it on the back end. Correct. You know what I mean? And if you're trying to do a little bit more, like you're doing those back squats or something like that, and you're looking to get a little curvy. Are we talking about the booty? We're talking about your badonk. Booty for the lighthouse. Let's go to this story. We want to get your thoughts on this, Matthew. Did you catch that? What did he say? He said maybe for the lighthouse. Yes, for the lighthouse. Lights out. Lights out. Okay, so let's go to this video. Matthew, you hang with us because I want to get your thoughts on this as well. Super Bowl 60 just a few weeks away, and of course we have the big national championship with Indiana and Miami happening on Monday night in Miami at Hard Rock. So Instacart revealing the foods that score big ahead of the big game. Delivery platform releasing a list of the top foods purchased based on data around last year's Super Bowl. And so these were the snacks purchased the most. Tortilla chips, those were some of the sales surging 106%. Compared to the yearly average.
potato chips, ranch dressing, salsas, canned diced tomatoes, and those are some of the game day favorites. Matthew, what are your game day favorites as a very fit man?
Sure.
Healthy.
Steak on game day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Steak or bison meat, lean bison. Sometimes lamb, even.
Wow, so it's a lot
Very
of
off the
protein.
wall, but
Do
a lot of
you eat
protein,
liver?
I used to eat a lot of liver and kidneys.
Yeah.
The kidneys are a little hard to stomach, to be
so
honest with you.
how do you eat kidneys? Like, what does it look like?
Are you grilling?
I see what you're saying. So ultimately, you pretty much have to clean it and make sure it's very clean from a very good source. So if you can't get it from a rancher, like, I wouldn't touch it. And then, you can bake it. I usually bake it, to be honest with you.
What does it taste like? Chicken?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Like
yeah, sure.
Can I go back to the bison?
Sure.
What about bison nachos? So we've got the chips, we've got bison meat, and we've got a little bit of cheese, maybe some beans on there. Where would you rate that on the scale? Because it is Super Bowl. Everyone wants to indulge.
Do you do chips?
On Super Bowl, absolutely. The thing is if you continue with your goals, you can splurge on these every once in a while.
Yeah.
The biggest focus is not to feel bad about what you just did.
Yeah.
Just you ate that nacho, man. Just continue on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Continue on.
Is there anything that you avoid?
A lot of processed foods, canned foods, fried foods.
Sugar.
To be honest with you, all I pretty much eat is eggs, fish, rice, sweet potatoes, and ground beef.
I love sweet potatoes.
Bison and stuff like that.
What kind of rice? White rice, brown rice?
Jasmine, usually.
Jasmine.
Oh, why is that?
Okay.
Just like the taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know brown was better than jasmine.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on cottage cheese? I have to ask because
I love cottage
cheese. Everyone says it's high protein, and it's a trend now. We have those protein bowls that everybody makes with the sweet potato avocado, protein, and a cottage cheese.
So I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't eat it, which is like
They have
unfortunate.
lactose free though.
I know.
We'll find you some.
It's a texture thing.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. But no, absolutely. I think cottage cheese has a good function of protein, enough fat. Again, it's all about balance and focusing on what you need and what your body needs based on how you're breaking it down and what you're doing. Day to day.
And one last question. We only have 30 seconds here. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Like, what do you have for breakfast? I started making that protein coffee, putting protein in my coffee.
Okay.
Because
with the butter too?
my doctor, she did a protein powder with like a little almond milk, and then I turned it into a latte type thing. But what did you have for breakfast?
12 eggs.
I was going to say 6. I was going to say 6.
12 eggs?
Sometimes I'll mix 5 to 7 pieces of bacon with it.
Wow.
How are we making the eggs? How are you eating the eggs?
Scrambled.
Good for you. Wow. You must have chickens in the
12
backyard.
Eggs?
12 eggs? Yeah.
What's your grocery bill every week?
Well, I have 3 kids and a wife.
Oh, there you go. And they all love eggs.
Good.
Matthew Miller, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Here is a quick glance now. Lights out. Books out soon.
Woo! Good morning, everyone. Ty's joining us. Celeste is taking a little bit of a break. So, Ty, you weren't here for it.
No. What's
but we
going
popped
on?
this camera up. And we decided that this is the image, the beginning of a book.
Okay.
Celeste said romance. I said thriller.
Yeah, I think more of a thriller.
Well, here's what happened.
The innkeeper's
A gentleman started walking down the sidewalk.
Right? Oh.
And then someone started following that person down the sidewalk.
Oh, interesting.
So we've decided to name the novel, and everyone's chiming in. The music is still on, Dave. Can we turn that off?
There we go. We're good.
Love at the Lighthouse.
All right. There you go. Well, we'll see what happens with that book then.
Yeah.
All right. We have another jam-packed show. Dave and I were just going over the rundown. We got a lot of guests to get to today.
We have a lot of guests, so let's do it.
All right. So let's get right out to Sarah Alegre. And we're going to pull her up right now. She is going to be
Sarah's
joining
out there
us.
somewhere.
All right.
Hi, Sarah. Can you hear us? We can't quite see you, but we're looking for you.
All right, well, we'll let her get in place here in just a few minutes. But she is one of our Fox reporters. She has been covering the SpaceX Crew 11 astronauts. They are back on Earth this morning after safely splashing down aft the California coast. Now, this return comes after there was some sort of medical concern aboard the spacecraft, and that's what forced NASA, or I shouldn't say spacecraft, I should say the International Space Station, which forced NASA to end the mission about a month early. So now
Sarah is live in San Diego, and Sarah, this return, first of its kind. Can you hear us?
Hey guys, yeah, good morning to you. Thanks for waiting for me.
we gotcha.
I think you can. I can hear myself, so that's a good sign. But yeah, so it's the very historic one in its 25-year history for the International Space Station. Good news attached to it. You know, NASA says everyone is home safe and sound, but really now the focus is on getting the astronaut in need the correct medical recovery and process. We don't know who the astronaut is and exactly what condition that they're dealing with, you know, mainly due to those privacy concerns. But NASA said everything today went off without a hitch here off the coast of San Diego, California. Bright and sunny now, but earlier this morning it happened dark and early, just around 1 a.m. local time. That 10-hour trek from the International Space Station when they undocked from the ISS just yesterday afternoon all came to an end. Again, NASA officials just emphasizing this was very safe. This was not a emergency evacuation, essentially, but it was just a precautionary method. And just given the ISS proximity to the Earth, it's about 250 miles above it. That's close relatively when we're looking at space terms. It's not a deep space mission, but it was an easy chance to get these astronauts home. And just looking and assessing the situation, it was necessary, it was needed, and best for the whole crew.
Spaceflight will always carry some degree of uncertainty. That is the nature of exploration. Fundamentally, it's why we're in space, to learn. It's why NASA prepares for the unexpected, so we are ready to respond decisively and safely. The successful return of Crew 11 is a direct result of that preparation.
Cover Commander Zena Cardman, to her right, pilot Mike Fink, the two NASA astronauts.
Yeah, so here is the crew now. We've got NASA astronauts Mike Fink, Zena Cardman, along with Japanese astronaut Kimya Yui and Russian cosmonaut Oleg Platonov. Again, NASA says this is not an emergency, and everyone seems to be in good spirits as they're exiting the Dragon capsule. And now the signs initially to cut this mission off, that came last week after NASA canceled the first spacewalk of 2026. NASA says this was a precaution and the best way to get a full checkup on the ground.
Sarah, I was listening to a few reports this morning, and they mentioned that the protocol is if one astronaut has to come back, they have to bring everybody back.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we saw here with Crew 11, because it's a crew mission to get both up there and to come down with the SpaceX Dragon capsule, the undocking from the ISS. This is a team mission, essentially, with all the work and exploration that they've been doing aboard the International Space Station, you know, allowing NASA to kind of clear up some energy towards those Artemis 2 missions, which we know is going to happen relatively soon, early next month, with that Artemis 2 launch. But yeah, they go up as a team, they come down as a team, and that's what we're seeing.
Sarah, I know they're not really speculating or not really talking about, I guess we should say, is of why exactly they had to bring that particular astronaut back, which is kind of leading to a lot of rumors going around. Do you know if NASA is eventually going to maybe come out with some sort of statement as to exactly what happened and why they had to come back down?
In a press conference earlier this morning, NASA administrator said a little bit earlier that they plan to provide more details as they come and give us more information as it comes. So hoping we can get a better idea relatively soon.
Yeah. Sarah, I just wanted to add that I was watching. I know you said that they can't disclose any information, but I was watching earlier this morning, and they brought like a leather gurney up as they were waiting for the astronauts to deboard. And it was interesting to watch that entire situation.
Yeah, and honestly, with these splashdowns, no matter what, there is a physical toll that associates with it, whether you're in healthy condition or if you're not doing so well. So that is standard procedure. You kind of take them out because, you know, they've been up in space since August. They're trying to get their wits about them, trying to use their legs once again after being up in space for quite some time. So no matter what, when you're dealing with a splashdown to that caliber, and then also for being in space for that long, it's going to be quite an adjustment. And is very hard on the human body. But then when we're talking about someone with a medical condition, that only adds to the stress here. But as it is, this is what NASA said a little bit earlier, it's a tough splashdown.
Sure. Well, Sarah, we appreciate it. And by the way, that background behind you, what a nice office you have today.
You know, you guys, I really can't complain. I'm kind of pinching myself a little bit being here in sunny San Diego, California. And the fact that I'm going to be done a little bit earlier today is also
head to the beach.
A good sign. We had a really splashed down this morning, but I'm winning today.
Yeah,
sure
thank you. Great job.
We appreciate it, Sarah. Have a great rest of your day.
I want to talk about the other big story that's happening, and this is really worldwide, but the unrest and the protests taking place in Iran. We talked to a local man a couple of days ago who has been joining protests taking place here in the valley. Communication has been cut off. No phones, no internet, and he hasn't been able to talk to his parents and is very, very concerned.
Sure, of course. So I wanted to bring in Daniel Rothenberg. He is a professor at Arizona State University here. And just to basically kind of run down what exactly is happening in Iran, because we see these images, we hear these stories, but we thought it'd be great for you just to give us some perspective as far as what is happening in that country. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, you bet.
You know, there's historic protests around the country against the regime. These are large-scale protests. There's been massive repression on the part of the state. At least 2,500 people have been killed, and this is a major moment in history.
Now, how did we get here, though? Because I know we saw these protests back in 2022. Can you explain what those protests were all about that we saw back in 2022 and how they differ now from what we're seeing now?
I mean, there have been popular protests in Iran for many, many years. There's been pressure from the ground up. The economic situation is just devastating. There are few opportunities for people. The 1979 revolution has run its course. Things are really rough. There's massive corruption, there's extraordinary repression, and there's popular uprisings again all over the country. Where it's going to go, nobody knows.
The images coming out are terrifying, very difficult to watch, and we don't really know how many more and how many different images we will see. President Trump said a couple of days ago he sent a message to the people of Iran saying help is on the way, not necessarily specifying what type of help is coming and in which way it will arrive, but now signaling a possible de-escalation, saying that the killing appears to have ended. What do we know about that?
Yeah, it's difficult to know exactly what's happening on the ground. A de-escalation of a possible U.S. military action seems like generally a good idea. And maybe what we have not seen from the president is clarity as to what the U.S. goals are. Is this a support for democracy movements? Is this just antagonism to the current regime? Is this about natural resources? Is this about regional politics? We don't know what it is that the U.S. wants. And, you know, dialing down the rhetoric is generally a good thing, but where all this is going, you know, it's completely unclear.
Yeah, you mentioned that the protests, continue to grow, and we do have that blackout. Basically, the government there, and maybe you can explain better than I can, but the government there basically just shutting out anything. Spotty reporting coming from individuals that have, I guess, access to Starlink. So basically, we're kind of flying blind here as far as what's going on. We're just getting kind of pieces of information from some very brave individuals that are speaking out. Because can you walk us through just what is happening to some of these protesters that are speaking out against the regime?
It's a massively repressive state. That's nothing new. We see killings all over the country. Maybe they've been tampered down, possibly because of pressure from the U.S. or maybe other aspects of what's going on. But it's a popular movement against a repressive regime in a context of, economic disaster. But again, where is this going to go remains unclear. I don't think the images of the moment are the defining feature for what's happening on the ground. Will this regime fall? Will insiders take power and push aside the supreme leader? Again, all of it's unclear. There isn't a singular organizing body behind it. There hasn't been a democratic election with an opposition party that could clearly step into the fold. So, it's a very, very tense moment for the world, for the region, and, obviously for Iranians.
We've been reporting all morning long that the airspace reopened to traffic after temporary closure to most flights. Is that a good sign? Is that an indication that, in fact, things may be getting a little better?
It's clearly a good sign, because if traffic can pass through the airspace, that's a sign that there's less likely to be a military action in that same airspace. But again, what happens today is important, but the big picture is, where will Iran go? It's a people that's suffered for years, and it's a country with a great history, a culture, great pride. I think the real fear, at least for Americans on this side, is a serious intervention on the part of the United States would probably not be met with a lot of popular support. And who knows where that would take us? Everybody in Iran remembers the 1953 coup against a democratically elected government, engineered partly by the US and the UK. So that's on people's minds, and that we certainly don't want to repeat that sort of history.
It is just kind of incredible just to kind of listen to the reporting. We have to hit a break here in another 40 seconds. And I don't know if you can just hold on for another 2 minutes with us, and then we'll continue to ask you some questions, because it's so nice to have an expert here to kind of answer some of these questions. We're also getting some questions from folks in the chat. So if you don't mind, Professor, if you could hold on for another 2 minutes, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll continue with this conversation on the other side. So much more with Dr. Rothenberg, coming up in 2 minutes. You guys stay with us.
Welcome back in, everyone. Doctor, thank you so much for staying with us. Dr. Daniel Rothenberg of ASU. If I can ask a question, one of the things as you're looking at all the articles and information coming in, that the United States withdrawing some personnel from bases in the Middle East, and this was reported yesterday. Talk a little bit about what this might imply is happening.
Well, there was a major U.S. operation, obviously, in June as part of this 12-day war, where the U.S. went in and bombed nuclear facilities. And this is part of large-scale operations, particularly by Israel in the region. Let's remember that, just over a year ago, the regime of Assad fell in Syria, a key Iranian ally. In 2024 and 2025, there were all sorts of concentrated operations against Iranian allies, including killing the head of Hezbollah, Lebanon. So we've seen a significant reduction in the capacity of the Iranian regime to project its power. That doesn't mean that it would be an easy process of engaging in serious military operations against Iran. And also, what would be the point of those operations? Would be the point to take out the supreme leader or key leaders within the regime? If so, what's the next step? Look what just happened in Venezuela. The U.S. Took out the head Maduro and his wife and brought them to the U.S. And in power are the same members of the regime that Maduro was the head of just before. So again, we haven't heard a clear articulation of what the U.S. goals are.
Sure. Well, Doctor, we really want to thank you for taking the time to kind of, clear the muddy waters over what exactly is happening in Iran. We do appreciate your time. We're probably going to be keeping you on speed dial, I have a feeling, over the next couple of weeks and months. So we do appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. On a much lighter note, you guys, you know that I'm kind of an aviation nerd.
Kind of?
Kind of.
No, you are an aviation nerd.
A full-fledged aviation nerd. So it's kind of exciting when here at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, we are getting yet another international airline. Oops, that's not it. Hold on. I'm going to show it to you right now. Oops, there it is.
Oh.
Starlux Airlines, which is based in Taipei, Taiwan, will be starting service here to Arizona. And guess what? The very first flight, I just looked it up, is going to be touching down at 4:35 at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport.
They're going to be flying a couple of days a week to start, and then they're going to be adding a day, which is really exciting. And we talk about this a lot. You and I both like international travel, and we really appreciate it. And the fact that you're able to fly direct and reach so many different parts of the world is incredible, and I think it speaks volumes about Phoenix and Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport.
And its growth.
Yeah.
And as obviously we had last month, we had the start of China Airlines, which is flying, again, the same route from Taipei to Phoenix. But obviously, this is going to be great for the semiconductor plant that's going up over the 303. So this is going to be a huge deal for folks that work there, live here, or have family in Taiwan.
Yeah. So we have what now? Taipei, Taiwan. We have France.
Air France started a couple years ago.
I know American Airlines flies direct to London,
and British Airways does as well from here.
Which is really incredible.
And then we obviously have all those flights to Mexico from Phoenix Sky Harbor as well. So it continues to grow. Our little Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport's
We're not so little
growing
anymore,
up,
are we?
I know. Well, speaking of being an airline geek, I saw this next story, and you obviously are a dog lover.
Oh, yes, we both are.
I am a dog lover.
Yeah.
And so there is a new boutique-type airline, I guess you could call it, called RetrievAir.
What do you think this is about?
This is a great story. So guess what?
Fantastic.
We have the CEO of RetrievAir,
Hello.
Benton, joining us this morning. Benton, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Appreciate being on. Thanks for the time.
So first of all, let's kind of start at the very beginning. For folks that don't know, and I probably didn't explain it very well, what is RetrievAir?
Yeah. So we are a public charter operator, which means we don't own nor do we operate the aircraft. We partner with a direct air carrier who's audited and approved by the FAA. But essentially what we do is we sell 30-seat airplanes that fly in and out of major U.S. cities that allow you to sit right next to your best friend.
I think that is such a brilliant idea. I had a little Chihuahua. He was only a 10-pounder, just like that one right there in the video. And I can put him under the seat. Now, you had to sign a whole little letter saying that the dog would stay underneath the seat. Sometimes flight attendants would say, bring that pup up on your lap, which was enjoyable for everybody. But the video that we're showing right now, that the pups literally have their own seat. They're walking down the aisle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so the reason why we started this, we're pet parents, everybody on our team here. I have 2 Labrador retrievers, and I just had such a hard time being able to travel with them. They're our best friends. They're our family members. And so we figured I should quit my job and figure out a way to make it accessible for everybody. And we're continuing to do so.
Look at how happy these pups are, and the people too.
Yeah, I was going to say the people. I mean, it's such a, I guess, relief for them to be able to take their pup, because sometimes you don't want to put your dog underneath in a carrier underneath because I don't know.
But also it's stressful, I will say, because my pup was a really great flyer, and I don't know, Ben, if yours are. Well, look at this video.
Look at this video. We're looking at
he's
Ben.
like, look at me out the window. But
great.
You know, I was always stressed out. Is he okay in his carrier? Does he have enough air? Does he need to get out and stretch his legs? You know, is anything going on? I was always really stressed out about that. And so this, I would imagine, brings a lot of relief.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Our whole thing, what we try to do is we try to take the peacefulness of you relaxing on your couch, watching Fox or whatever you want to watch with your pup beside you, that peaceful, secure comfort, right? You make some eye contact, the pup wags their tail. We bring that directly into the sky. And so we do that by going through FBO, so private airports, 30 seats, premium comfort seating, first class style legroom, and your pup can sit right next to you or right on your lap.
And Benton, the exciting thing is you guys are now going to be starting service here to Scottsdale, correct?
Oh.
Correct. Yep. Our first flight actually going out of Scottsdale on February 15th is completely sold out already.
Wow. February.
Hold on.
I gotta write this down. February 15th. We got to come see you on February 15th.
How fantastic.
Yeah, we would love that. We would love that.
Yeah. So do you how far in advance do you have to book then? So limited seating.
Yeah, for sure. So our booking window usually is around like 6-ish weeks. However, some of these new routes that we are now expanding due to our infusion of funding off of Shark Tank of last year.
Good for you.
They're starting to actually book up a lot further in advance. So that we completely sold out that a few weeks ago.
So from Scottsdale, pardon me, we can go where? I would imagine Las Vegas?
Yeah. So from Scottsdale with us, you can go to LA, Seattle, Oakland, so San Francisco, or if you want to go to the other side of the country, we go to Dallas, Denver, Chicago, New York, and Tampa.
What is this like for you to be able to, you mentioned, let's go back. Let's talk about Shark Tank for a second, because that must have been kind of opened a lot of doors for you guys and got a lot more eyeballs on your business. How did that come to be?
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's a whole application process there, right? And we feel like we had a great story to tell, and who doesn't love pups on planes? And so it's a unique business model, and we were very thankful for our time there. And if you haven't watched the episode, it's episode 4 of this current season, and we caught ourselves a shark, which was amazing.
That is cool. And this has kind of allowed you to expand your operation. And I mean, looking into a crystal ball, what do you see for yourselves? What are some of the goals you have for RetrievAir?
Yeah, for sure. Right now, we have pretty limited time frames, right? So like once a month or twice a month or maybe 3 times a month, depending on the city and destination you're going to. We understand that as we continue to scale, we can make the pricing more approachable for customers, right? Like, again, I'm a pet parent that quit my job because I have an amazing wife who's able to support me to do it, but we can't private charter a jet, and nor can we bring our 60-pound labs on a commercial airplane. So I want to make it accessible for people like me and people like everybody else who, right? Your dog has 12-ish years with you, and that's 12 Christmases, or that's 12 holidays. And so they should be right next to you and not being, left behind. And so we really want to kind of curate that experience and keep on growing where we see demand and keep on making that peaceful offer.
Oh, that hit. You do count every single holiday and every single year with the pup. The video that we've been watching, we see the pups looking out the window of the flight. We see them laying on the seat. I would imagine you've been on several of these with all the dogs. What is it like to be on there? Is it utter chaos, or is everyone just really calm and quiet?
Really calm and quiet. Yeah. So I was on our first 35 flights, making sure all the processes were good, making sure we're working with TSA appropriately, the airport authorities, right, the FBOs, or the fixed base operators that we fly in and out of. And we didn't have our first bark until about flight 20. And
what?
So,
Who was barking?
And it was a rescue husky, and huskies just like to chat, right? It was good.
I don't know if Stuart would be allowed back. My golden retriever's a little naughty, but
funny enough is we have someone on the chat named Husky Mom 25. She has a question. What is the price point versus larger airlines?
Yeah, for sure. So it depends on the destination. So again, I think one big distinction as well is we fly out of private terminals or semi-private terminals, right? So we're not going out of the major commercial terminals. But if you want to go to LA, I think that's like right now per seat one way is $339 for you. And if you have a lap dog, then your lap dog, or if you want to buy an additional seat, right, it'd be twice that amount. Or if you have 2 humans and 1 dog, the dog comes for free. We just care about selling the seats at that point as well. If you go to somewhere like, let's say, Chicago, it's basically multiplies by stop with us. And so that's a 1-stopper or a 2-stopper at that point, depending on the route you go. So I think it goes up to like $1,800 per seat at that point.
Do you take cats as well, or is this simply dogs?
Oh, good question.
No, we do. Yeah, we take cats as well. We actually, our first sold out flight back this summer, we had 20 dogs and 1 cat, and I was on it, and it was one of our viral videos. We have like almost 30 million views now with that video on Instagram and TikTok, but it was completely quiet. Like they all just love it. They fall asleep.
I have a very important question.
Yeah.
Potty breaks.
Potty break. So we specifically design that into what we do. So being pet first, we understand if peacefulness is the key we want, we need to design potty breaks. So we stop every about 2 to 2.5 hours. And then we have specific potty spots right off the tarmac. So you get off the plane, same plane service. You leave all your stuff in your seats.
That's
you
amazing.
get off with your pet, you go over, have them relieve themselves. Maybe you need to relieve yourself too. Grab a drink, coffee, and hop back on.
Okay, and snacks is the next question because you will get peanuts or those little Biscoff cookies. What do the pets get?
Yeah, so the pets, they get treats. So right now we have a great partnership with Kismet. It's a John Legend brand, kind of premium treats, and people have been loving it. And so we got pet treats. We got a little water for pets as well. Free drinks and free snacks for people, depending on what you want to do or what you want when you're on your way.
I think you thought of everything.
I think you have too. Ben, we've only got about a minute left. I just wanted to ask you, what has been reaction from folks that have flown with you with their pup?
It's been amazing. I mean, I still get on the phones quite often too. And, we're leaving a really big pain point, right? Something that started so organic as us as pet parents wanting to solve this honestly so I can fly with my dog. And but now hearing stories about how somebody's able to bring their pet home for Christmas, they've never met their grandparent, right? Or their grandparents paying for their grandpup to come to them, or they're not doing a 4-day drive, 3-day drive from New York to Scottsdale anymore. They're able to hop on with us. And it's been really cool hearing that, or medical emergencies or surgeries that are happening in the family, and you're able to have their dog, which is a huge comfort to them, right beside them. So yeah, I mean, it gives me goosebumps right now. It's what motivates all of us.
Thank you.
Well, Ben, thank you so much. We're going to come out February 15th. I'm putting it on my calendar.
And we're going to put all the info from your site on our site so people can check it out.
Thank you again.
Sounds great. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, good morning, you guys. 11:30. Thanks for hanging with us here on Fox 10 Talks. Oh my gosh, I start to lose it the later and later it gets.
We're getting there. We're almost to Friday. It's like pre-Friday, Friday Eve, right?
We're almost there. Yeah, glad to have you with us again, Ken.
This is fun. Second day in a row.
Yes, we're keeping you busy.
Our days together. I know. It actually makes the day go by quite faster.
It does.
So I can't complain.
It does. Yeah, I know. People will actually. Someone asked today. They were like, "Oh, do you like your job?" I'm like,
getting up early.
Honestly, I do. Yeah,
I don't
and the
mind
day's really
getting
busy
up
and
as long as the alarm goes off.
Why? What happened yesterday?
I don't know. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. And then our day's almost over and it's not even noon yet.
I know.
But
a nice shot of Phoenix you were seeing there. Anita and Ty, tough act to follow. But we're going to do our best, you guys.
We're funny too, right?
We can be. I know. Dave, you were talking to me. I didn't hear you. What did you say about?
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, great. All right. So we have two guests for you guys today, both on Zoom. And we're going to get to our first guest right now. And that is we have Dr. Jennifer Takagishi joining us today to talk about what is happening in Florida. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course, anytime. So we're talking about Florida health officials expressing concern now over finding high levels of toxins in baby formula. Can you walk us through the situation there, how they made this discovery and what they're seeing?
Sure. The Department of Health informed us that they had tested, I believe it's 12 or 16 baby formulas from different companies, both powder, ready to feed, goat milk formulas, and they placed a scorecard up on their website that said of these formulas they found any of, whether it's mercury, lead, cadmium, arsenic, or pesticides in these formulas. And they had a separate sheet where they said this is the minimum and the maximum amounts that they had found. And without telling us any more information about how they tested, how many samples they tested, etc., they put this up on the website. So that's all the information that we have about how they determined this.
Wow. That can be really scary, I think, for parents, because no matter the type of formula, parents are trusting these manufacturers that what they're giving their baby is safe. Mm-hmm. I also want to kind of bring up, I did a story on By Heart baby formula for the last couple of months. We've seen a lot of botulism cases because of that. And I know this is a big question, but a lot of people are saying there's got to be more that needs to be done in terms of regulation. And you even kind of mentioned that scale. Is it fair to say it's kind of vague when these companies come out and say that there is, potentially life-threatening things that they're finding in the baby formula?
So all of the formulas are FDA approved and tested by them. So we don't really know where they, found all these different issues from. They have not been very forthcoming about that information. Mm-hmm. The manufacturers, however, do continue to do their own testing, and so they found in their own formulas the botulism. And I don't know if it started once the babies got sick and they then backtracked, but that's often what happens. And they have all been pulled from the markets, and that's actually on the scorecard. They actually note that those formulas were removed.
Des, you're a mom yourself. I mean, when you see a headline like this, I'm sure it scares you.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer, and I didn't even introduce you properly. So you're the professor of pediatrics and division chief of general academic pediatrics at the University of South Florida. And yeah, Kenzie, you're right. I mean, I'm a mom of four. And Doctor, I don't know if you remember just recently in 2021, there were so many parents that had to live through the formula shortage. And at that time, I had just given birth to twins. So I was doing the best I could nursing, but also supplementing with formula. And we had that big case where there were so many formulas recalled because of contamination. And so what did you think of living through that? And during that time, obviously, given your professional history, what were those conversations like between you and your students?
Yeah, it was very scary for a lot of our families. And as a provider, we didn't have a lot of options out there. Families were going to the internet and finding formulations that they were creating on their own, which may or may not have been the best nutritional value. and not all of our families could breastfeed. I have 2 children. I breastfed both of them, but I supplemented one with formula when I was no longer able to breastfeed. So I understand how frightening and difficult it is for the families, and we don't have that many alternatives. Families were looking to formulations from other countries that may or may not have been FDA approved. They were looking at goat milk that at the time may not have had enough folate in it, so it could lead to low blood counts. So there were a lot of concerns, and so bringing in another round of these formulas might have contaminants in them, according to their testing, is frightening and not giving a lot of alternatives for what can a family do instead.
So how do you feel right now then about what's going on? Because you kind of mentioned like we don't have very much information as far as to like how this study was done. 24 formulas from 7 different brands. Officials are saying some were purchased in person and some were bought online. But I mean, where do you stand with all of this? Is this, should parents be concerned at this point, or are you saying not yet?
We don't have enough information. We definitely want our families to be thinking and looking into this more. And if they can breastfeed, great. If they can't, as far as we have not proven that anything else is known. I know that's an abstract answer, but that's unfortunately the best one that we have right now. And so as far as we know, continue to use them if you need them. And it's much better than having your child be underweight or not have an unsafe.
Right. And doctor, and as far as the formulas that were tested here, that the state of Florida is saying they found those toxins, do you know what brands they are? Because I've done some searching and I've clicked on Fox 35, our affiliate in Florida, obviously covered this extensively. But I cannot find a full list of the brands that were tested. Are you aware of what the brands are?
Yeah, the website is actually exposing. I have to send it to you. Sorry, exposingtoxins.com/ingredient initiatives.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know. No, that's okay. I was going to say.
It included Similac, Enfamil, I believe, Kendamil.
Okay.
There were at least 3 or 4 major
formulas.
brands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask what it would be that resource for parents. Maybe we can link it on our website as well if you don't know it exactly. But I mean, I guess if you're a parent at home wondering if the formula I'm feeding my baby, is that a part of this study? Is there something I should be concerned about? I mean, is there a direct resource for parents in terms of double checking if a certain formula has been recalled or if it's been tested or exposed to, contaminated?
They can go to the FDA website. That would usually be where they would list any formulas that have been removed because of concerns.
Okay. All right, doctor, we appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much, and I'll send you that link.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Have a great day.
It is very interesting. It's hard. Yeah. I mean, I brought up the botulism story because, we cover things very extensively, but sometimes you might be a mom at home and you're busy and you're just trying to take care of a newborn and feed your baby and you're not checking these websites all the time. You assume that what you're feeding your baby is healthy.
And I'm looking, and I'm a mom. And I'm looking, right? So I'm reading this article. Yeah. My level of concern is heightened reading this, especially, I mean, after living through the formula shortage, having twins. Yeah. I mean, that was scary. And they were putting limitations on how much you could buy.
And you've got 2 babies.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was going in, buying the minimum, coming back, going back in and repurchasing. Because I was like, I have twins. I'm not feeding just one child. There's 2 babies. So after living through all of that and then reading headlines like this, you are worried.
Your heart rate would just.
But I was also going to say, it's also, why is it that hard for me to find the list of formulas that were tested in Florida? So here on the FDA's website, just a quick search, and if you guys are interested, you can try to do more digging as well. But currently active recalls right now are with By Heart baby formula. So obviously that's what happened in late last year, still into this year. But As far as any other specific brands, and especially ones that Florida tested, I can't find right now. But
when I would assume if it's showing up in Florida, these are not just delivered to Florida. Cases are delivered all over the country. So unfortunately, what we've seen, even when we covered the botulism cases, is it takes time for families to realize my baby's been impacted, which is
I think it's a serious thing that, I mean, in my opinion, needs more regulation, because that is the only thing a baby, an infant, can consume.
Yeah.
If you're not nursing,
what you're
all you can do is have formula. So,
especially when you're buying like the expensive organic, you think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. So we had also had some big news on the morning show this morning.
Yes.
We were very busy covering a shooting investigation earlier this morning. Do you want to walk us through some
It
of
was
that?
kind of chaotic. I think we have seen video. Very interesting. This all kind of started at 2:00 this morning, but we were out there until about 7 a.m. A very large investigation. We saw detectives and investigators, which is what you're seeing right now, is they went door to door trying to get information. That black tent there, the focus of their investigation, as there was a body there behind that black tent. So this turned into a deadly shooting investigation. What was crazy is just the large area that was closed off for majority of the morning. So that's 67th Avenue that you're looking at right now. And for about half a mile is completely closed down just south of Camelback. It's a neighborhood on both sides of the street. So a lot of these neighbors kind of detouring around. And when we were leaving our live shot, I'll tell you, there was quite a large amount of traffic in these neighborhoods as people are trying to get around that. So I know we've reached out to Phoenix PD. They've been on the scene all morning long. They had a mobile command unit out there just trying to figure out what happened late last night.
And I think folks hear us talk about the mobile command unit a lot too, and that means
we know it's a big investigation. So basically it's this massive, not even a truck, a RV type of van that when that's parked out there, that's for investigators to just, keep going in and going out and whatnot. So
yeah, kind of like that on-scene headquarters. So for them to sift through the information, they know they'll be on scene quite some time. And obviously, given that this was a deadly shooting, that investigation lengthy. No information right now on suspects or, people who might potentially be involved.
Yeah. So,
nope, of course, it's something that we're keeping an eye on all day. So later editions of Fox 10, you'll be able to get some more information. Right now, we're going to send you off to a quick break, a shot of the mystery cam. Get your guesses in. Welcome back, you guys. Here is a look at the mystery cam. So apparently, Dave told us that they were having some fun with the mystery cam shot earlier.
We already have a ton of guesses.
We do.
But I guess all morning long it's been talked about that it looks like the setting of a book. I said like murder mystery. I
Husky
feel like
Mom
it'd be
says,
like...
wait, the lighthouse again? So I have a feeling you guys know where this is.
So you guys are going to give it away for us.
But Little Philosophy is saying Rhode Island, and Husky Mom is saying Maine.
New England area, Massachusetts.
Well, I worked in New England. I worked in Boston. I used to work in Boston. And I know New England obviously is home to a lot of lighthouses. So I am going to go with somewhere in the New England
I'll say
area.
Rhode Island.
You're going to say what?
A Rhode Island.
Okay.
Like, I feel like at first I was going to say like Northern California, but the way the sun is on the other side at this time of the day and it's only noon, I don't think...
I know, it almost looks like, is it setting already?
Yeah,
like,
Husky Mom says somewhere beautiful and relaxing. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I wish we could hear. I can like picture the waves crashing on the rocks. And when they were talking about a book, I feel like it'd be a relaxing place to read a book.
Oh, okay. So what would your book be titled?
Maybe like, I don't know what the title would be, but when they were saying like romance novel, I'm thinking like it turns into a murder mystery type situation. A small town, the lighthouse. I don't know. Do you have a title?
I don't know. I was going to say perfect place to bury your spouse.
Oh, that is too funny. Okay, should we guess what it is?
I'm gonna go Maine.
Okay.
Here's the big reveal. You're going Rhode Island.
This is so
Final
Rhode
answer.
Island. That's I'm just gonna stick with that. Okay, mystery cam is. Oh my gosh, I was right. Jamestown, Rhode Island.
There you go.
Little Philosophy. You knew what was up. Have you been in the chat all morning and you already knew?
Oh, that's
Good
funny.
morning. Almost noon, says Linda. That's exactly right. Well, there you go.
All right. Good
It was
job,
a
you
life
guys. Everyone was pretty. I mean, New England. That was pretty
East Coast.
Yeah, pretty close.
We got it right. Kind of.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have our next guest lined up for you guys this morning. We are speaking with Tori Hirsch. She's legal counsel for the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. So we are so thankful to have you with us this morning, Tori. Talking about a heavy topic, though. We're talking about the AI tool that is used by X. It's called Grok, and it's making headlines for what it is doing to the photos of real women and children. But before we even get into that, can you introduce the National Center on Sexual Exploitation to our audience today and what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So the National Center on Sexual Exploitation is a nonpartisan nonprofit. We're based in Washington, D.C., and we really focus on tackling all forms of sexual abuse and exploitation, from child sexual abuse material to human trafficking to pornography and many other areas, prostitution. And so we're just committed to eradicating all forms of sexual abuse and exploitation. And most recently, we've been focused on online abuses.
Yeah. I mean, talking about online abuses, the fact that you can now use an AI tool to take a photo of, really anyone and have AI turn that into, a nude photo or just in something that looks so lifelike. I mean, this is really scary.
Yeah. It's scary and it's proliferating. I think, Grok AI has been in the news so much lately because it has come under fire for, allowing people to create and distribute these nude images of women, of children, of, people who, of course, did not consent to this. And there's really not much that can be done, which is scary, which is why we need, good laws to get this under control.
Well, and that kind of transitions into my next question. So, for example, if you look at Arizona state law, sexual exploitation of a minor is defined as a person who commits sexual exploitation of a minor by knowingly recording, filming, photographing, developing, or duplicating any visual depiction in which a minor is engaged in exploitative and sexual conduct. So, by that definition, question. Is that enough to protect children from what is happening with the AI tools? Do you say, yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely should be. So, what you would need to do is, of course, bring a case under that law against Grok, challenging it and saying like, hey, you are violating this law. But yeah, absolutely, it should be enough. I mean, even federal law prohibits the creation and distribution of child sexual abuse material, which is, what you described, those images. And some laws even say, even if it's a depicted image of a real child, that's enough. That this is something we as a society have said is so horrific and not accepted that even if it's a depicted, created deep fake of a real child that might not be, the child actually engaging in that sort of act, that's enough to fall under some definitions of the law.
Tori, do you think there needs to be even more legal action in terms of, this AI tool, it's allowed to create these types of, or like its server was created to create these types of images. I feel like that shouldn't even be an option.
Yeah, I completely agree. So this is, there's been a lot of litigation in this area for websites, especially. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act has been a huge barrier to being able to hold websites accountable for, benefiting and profiting from these images. But now that we're seeing the websites, the chatbots themselves are creating these images, Section 230 doesn't protect that. So I see a very real danger for these platforms of being sued, and that's absolutely something that should be exercised. Even the Attorney General of California and I think Texas are now both either calling for investigations of Grok or have already begun investigating into holding them accountable.
Yeah, because I want to be clear, it's no longer allowed to do this, but this came after it's a change in their policy. So it's been doing this for I don't know how long, weeks, months. Should they be sued for this? This could change people's lives. I'm even thinking if there was a photo, of myself or somebody I knew that other people thought was a real photo and it's not, it doesn't matter. It's already been out there and people have seen it.
Absolutely. If Grok is creating these images and that's what it was created to do, not third parties, then victims should absolutely hold it accountable through, federal, state, civil causes of action. The Take It Down Act that passed last May gives victims a remedy, or it creates a criminal act to create and distribute these images. And so now with the passage of the Defiance Act in the Senate, that's really giving victims a way to take civil action against individuals who have created or distributed these images. But again, we really need to see being able to hold the website and the platform itself accountable when these images are created.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, I was monitoring the chat too. Like one of the folks watching today, Empreven, says, you will never jail this AI entity. It is weird. It's uncharted waters, right? We've never lived in this age before with technology that's able to do these types of things. But Kenzie, like you mentioned, X did, and Elon Musk, obviously the owner of X, did release a statement saying that they've implemented technological measures to prevent Grok account from allowing the editing of images of real people in revealing clothing. Yeah. So I Tori, if you can leave us with something, you deal with a lot of cases that affect a lot of women, young children. What is the best advice that you can give so people can protect themselves, protect children?
Yeah, I would just say, be aware of what you're posting online. I personally don't have social media, and I, don't want images of me to end up, in one of these chatbots, because it's scary to think about the reality of what that could be. But I would just say, use your voice, talk to your state legislators, talk to your, your representatives, your senators. There's so much legislation right now that touches on these issues, that touches on regulation of AI chatbots and other things dealing with non-consent consensual images. So, reach out to them and say like, hey, I'm scared of this. This is a concern. We need to have some serious, meaningful regulation of these platforms so they're not allowed to do this.
Yeah, it might change the way, certainly, that some folks start operating online. Absolutely. Tori, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning to dive into this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. So we're going to switch gears here. We do that in news all the time. Yeah. We only have a little bit of time left, but we both have live shots to share from this morning. Yes. Let's rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And see who's in. Ready?
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Wait, I did. Hey,
okay, one more time. Ready?
Okay, yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, here we go. One more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Go with mine. I don't even know what we're playing, but here we go.
All right.
Oh, it's from the race car place. This is really cool.
Oh, no, the hats. You were doing hats.
Oh, is that the live shot we got? Okay,
yep,
fine.
Here we go.
Let's see it. There I am.
You guys, I'm trying on everything in here. This is so fun. If you missed it before the break, I literally had a fox basically on my head. So fun and furry. Come on in here. Tell me what we got on now.
We have cloches on.
Cloche. So now I've got a cloche on. And these are cloches here? Is that exactly right?
Yes.
Okay.
A winter hat.
A winter hat. It's like a wool. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So I got that right. Yes. But here at AZ Tex Hats here in Scottsdale, you guys have pretty much everything, right?
We do.
Yeah, tell us about it.
We go down the wall and we have fedoras on this side. A lot of them are worn by men, but a woman will wear a Panama every day of the week because they weigh nothing.
Oh, perfect for an Arizona summer.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh, so she's going to swap that out.
Nothing.
We just went from a winter hat to a summer hat.
Correct. They weigh nothing.
That's
Women love them.
Awesome. And as we make our way down this way, we've got more fun hats here. What is this called? These are
flat brims.
Flat brims. So I'm going to swap out the cloche
here. I'll take
for the flat brim.
Sure.
Okay. This is nice. Is this kind of a Western style?
Correct.
Okay.
The latest modern style all the young girls want to wear.
How fun. And they all have different bands around the brim. Is that you can just pick them out, or we just got a lot of different options
You can
here?
pick them out and decorate your hat.
How fun. This is so cute. So this one over here has got a card on it. We got different bands. You said you can pick them out yourself so people can come in and design them, or tell me about that?
Yeah, little horseshoes around the hat.
How cute.
You can pick them out and design a little bit.
Yeah,
Not a lot.
How long have you guys been here?
42 years.
42 years. A Scottsdale staple. And a hat for any occasion. I know around the corner is the Kentucky Derby. So if you're celebrating, you can come on in here.
Right, guys. Fascinator. That whole time. Anyway, so you heard
and
me
what is this one here that you're going to try?
This is fun.
This is cute.
So what's the name of this place? AZ Tex Hat?
Tex Hat.
Okay.
And it's National Hat Day.
Well, you heard me say all I can see there was Kenzie's ring.
I did.
My.